Hedge, tube dwellers, and welcome to another Mad Bag Gamer commentary. This is Starcraft 2, and I'm going to be doing a 1 versus 1 commentary. I'm going to do it from the replay this time, no first-person shenaniganery, no live commentary. I do have somewhat of a special treat in my opponent for this match. Oh, look at that! A master player. What? Oh, even better, a master Protoss. And yes, this was played on my main account, the Mad Bag, meaning we're going to be looking at a Protoss versus Protoss against me, the Diamond Protoss, and Destro, the Master Protoss. Apparently he's kind of a high rank master too. That's interesting. I actually hadn't noticed that until just now. I am Diamond, also somewhat high ranked in the Diamond. Doesn't quite mean anything, especially compared to a Master Leaguer.
Let's kick the tires and light the fires. So here we are, spawning on Shakiris Plateau, dat home of them Dark Templar. In the bottom right corner, we have your homegrown champion, the Mad Bag. And in the bottom left, we have Destro. So close air positions. That may play a part. We may see some Phoenix play, maybe, I don't know. I played this game a little over a week ago. Generally speaking, I remember how it went, but I don't remember all the specifics. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to say if there really was Phoenix play or not. You'll just have to wait and see. Standard so far, there's the pylon. Where is the chrono boost? The chrono boost is coming right now. Right now, ba-bam! Same thing. Now here's the next question. How many chrono boosts? Of course one. I think every Protoss in the world does one now. Get up to 13 before doing your gateway. I think that is a unanimous standard, unless you're doing cheese, unless you're doing a proxy gate or a forge shenaniganery play. He has gone for a second chrono boost. I have not. This will put him behind me in energy, but ahead of me in probes. So you'll see his 14th should pop before mine. My 14th won't be far behind his. Aha! Gas directly after. My gas just a touch later than his. It looks like I'm in a chrono boost now. Okay, so that was a total mistake. Boomy! That chrono boost should come immediately after the first, if you're going to do it. If you want to only chrono boost once, that's fine. That indicates that you're going to save chrono boosts to use later. It looks like I'm just doing a slightly inefficient play. And he is going to scout me just about the same time that I scout him. So now we both see the state of each other's bases. We both see that I am one chrono boost, I guess, ahead of him on chrono boosts. However, of course, he's the one probe ahead. And it's not quite a full probe. It's mainly just he's ahead of me on that production. You'll notice that we're even at 18 here for a short bit until his 19th finishes. And he's getting his next gas quickly, too. So going straight up to 2 gas. I see this pretty much immediately. Chrono boosting this much on a Nexus and getting a second gas indicates that the Protoss is going to do some kind of a tech play. Not any kind of a 4-gate. Aha! And here we see another piece of interesting information in our opponent's base. Another gateway. Ah, a 2-gate opening. If he has a second gateway down before his core even finishes, most of the time, it indicates that he's going to do a 3-stalker opening. This is where you build 1 stalker out of your first gate. While that stalker's constructing, this gate finishes up. They both finish at about the same time, and you're able to queue a second and a third stalker, which finish together. That makes 3 stalkers much faster than I could possibly get 3 stalkers with 1 gate. And if I were a player doing a 4-gate, I would be whipping out 3 more gates sometime right around this point in time in the game. And I still would only be producing off the 1 gate. His 3 stalkers from this play would allow him to deny a proxy pylon. It would allow him to maybe even kill my first aggressive force and force me to do my warp in on my side of the map, which would make the 4-gate infinitely easier for him to defend. So this is kind of an anti-4-gate play. However, it's just a solid opening in general. It's pretty strong. I actually saw the double gate before even putting my robo facility down. So I have a specific timing in mind, and here you'll see it. I immediately start an Immortal, and this Immortal is going to make me feel really safe. So I'm only going to get one additional gateway for a total of 2. Now you'll notice with this timing, these 2 Stalkers just now finished out of his gateways, and even if he rallies these straight to my base, which it looks like he's going to, my Immortal will be done in time to greet them. And not only the Immortal, but also a Sentry. So this is the timing that I've worked out quite a bit. I use a similar timing whenever I smell a 4-gate, or sometimes whenever I'm just unsure about what he's doing, because this is a really safe play. I don't always add this piece on, the Robotics Bay. However, just this piece right here makes me really safe to any of these early timings. And he's going to see the Immortal, and he's going to back off immediately. He doesn't want to have anything to do with that. The Immortal is great against Stalkers. Oh, and it looks like he has revealed his desired tech path. He is indeed getting Blink, and he's going to be adding on a Robo. Now, oftentimes if you see a Twilight Council and a Robotics Facility, it means he's going to be getting the Blink upgrade for Stalkers. He's going to be building almost purely Stalkers, and then he's going to get an Observer out of the Robo so that he can see up high ground ledges like this and blink into your base. This is a very common play in Protoss vs. Protoss. It is a play towards mobility. Mobility will allow him to do a number of kind of nifty things. It will allow him to counterattack, where all my forces are setting up my front. Once he gets the Observer and blink, he'll be able to blink into this back section and maybe pick off a couple probes and blink right back out without taking any losses. It can be really nice, really clean if you do it well. However, it's not quite as strong as just going straight for the Robo the way I have. So he won't be able to face me in direct engagements, but of course that mobility may be nice. And here I reveal exactly what he's doing, especially seeing that Chrono Boost. That really reveals he is very clearly doing a blink play. Now I actually like this follow-up to the blink play as well. He's been at the front of my base for a while, and he's seen that I have an Immortal, so he knows that I'm probably going to be safe. The best he's going to be able to do is, like I said, the blink counter and pick off something around the edges of my base. You don't necessarily need a lot of Stalkers to be able to effectively do that. A matter of fact, if you have a gigantic clump of Stalkers, it actually becomes harder to maneuver in here, pick off just a couple probes, and get back out. So he's going to stay relatively low on the Stalker count, and he's going to use the threat of a counterattack to keep me pinned in my base, and he's going to expand. Very clever play from him, and so far executed pretty well too. We're really close in food supply. Oh, and he picks off my Observer. Amazingly clean play from him. Great Observer control to get his back, and also to use his Stalkers to focus fire on my Observer. This disallows me from seeing his Observer, which allows him to basically have free reign over my base with the Observer, with the detection, with the vision. And he saw also that I was going Colossi. Now, Colossi are an incredibly meaty unit, and they also have a very easy critical mass in Protoss vs. Protoss, even against Blink Stalkers. In order for Blink Stalkers to combat a Protoss army with Colossi, they kind of need to be able to focus the Colossi in one way or another, and this normally means blinking towards the Colossi. Now, blinking into a Colossi army is very detrimental, because if the rest of his stuff is in place right, he can do a lot of damage to you. And here he's going to reveal that I too am trying to expand. And here you see something nice about Colossi. If they start taking pot shots at one, you can kind of just back them up. They've got quite a bit of shields, so they can take quite a bit of hits from even Stalkers, which get their little bit of bonus damage against the armored Colossi. So it looks like I'm still feeling relatively safe in my base. However, I'm not feeling powerful enough yet to push out. Oh, and he gets another Observer. My Observer control is atrocious. That is so horrible. Eventually, with this kind of a power play, with what I'm doing, ooh, I like this too. He's splitting up the Stalkers. Ooh, I just now noticed his goose egg. He is setting on quite the bank. Eventually, with this kind of a play, the kind of play I'm doing, I will become powerful enough that he can't touch me in a direct engagement, and I will attempt to push across the map and kill him. These Zealots are really just a delaying technique. I don't really expect to be able to do anything to his Stalkers, but I kind of expect his Stalkers to waste time shooting at the Zealots, or to just run away like you see he did there. He's going to try to get a little damage on me. It looks like I pulled back close enough, fast enough. Ooh, and I like this as well. Seeing that he went Blink, and given that I'm putting a lot of gas into Colossi, I'm generally going to be a little Zealot heavy. To spend both resources, when you're spending pretty much all your gas on Colossus, you have to spend all your minerals somewhere else. And I'm choosing to put it in Zealots. Now, I've also chosen to get Charge, Now the reason I like charge in this situation specifically is that charge does not require any micro, and it makes blink stalker's micro a whole lot more. So not only is he going to have to blink micro to stay away from my charge lots, but my charge lots will get some damage on his blink stalkers anyway. It actually makes it to where zealots can kind of hold their own against blink stalkers. And it looks like I might be looking for a timing. I've got 3 colossi, which is a great number against stalkers. And my charge is very close to finishing up. So I may be willing to leave my base vulnerable here very soon. Oh, and it looks like this might be it. I'm going down my ramp. He is going to pull back. It looks like he feels really confident in the pin. Oh, and he's not even watching for it. Oh, I love the damage I got on him there. That makes a direct engagement even more out of the question for him. There's no way he can fight my army head on. And this goose egg, wow, I actually did not expect to see this. This is the first time I've watched this replay after having played the game. And it's really surprising to see him with that much money. It seems like he feels like he had me pinned a lot harder than he really did. Of course, he is going for this double robo colossi play, so it could be that he's just saving some money up to absolutely power some stuff here real soon. But there's no reason to have that much. Ooh, and he actually canceled the colossi. It looks like he has recognized this as a base race, and he's a little bit late to the party. Now, the thing to note about a base race is that it almost always happens when one player has a highly mobile force and the other player has a very powerful force. So the reason a base race happens is that the player with the mobile force does not want to get in a direct engagement with the player with the powerful force. So instead of directly engaging him, he'll let the power player just push over to his base, like I've done here, and he instead will go into my base. Oh man, here are the last of my probes. Let me see my count. 3, 1, none. He got every single probe. There will be no chance of me hiding a proxy anywhere. There will be no chance of me getting a ninja out anywhere. Anyway, like I was saying, the base race, the important thing to think about is that the player with mobility doesn't want to fight this army. It's the whole reason the base race happens. So all the player with the strong army has to do is cripple the mobile player's base, much like I've done here. I could have actually left some zealots in here attacking these pylons. That would have been a great play. And once you've crippled his base, you should try to get back and salvage anything you can of your own base. So another thing to keep in mind about base races is that a mobile player, just by virtue of mobility and by virtue of not investing in strength, generally won't be able to be killing your base as quickly as you can kill his. So a lot of times, once you're in his base, you can get damage dealt a lot faster. And that's what we see here. So not only was he not able to engage my army directly, but he wasn't able to kill as much of my base as quickly as I was able to kill his. He also got to my base a little bit later. That helped me quite a bit. He was not expecting me to push out at that timing, and so I caught him kind of off guard. Now, my vision right now is pretty paltry. There's a lot of expansions I don't see. I do see that that base is crippled, but I'm concerned that he could do a ninja, and here I've found it already. So, when you get in a base race, and when you lose your whole base, a lot of times it can be a really good idea to immediately start establishing a new base, especially when you're sitting on a goose egg like this guy. When you're sitting on, he had 2,000 minerals when this base race began. Ooh, and I actually like this move by him. Oh, and you can tell I see it, and I know that I can't, I'm catching him so perfectly. So, Smart Blink is the bane of a Blink player's existence. All that Smart Blink did right here was put his Blink on differing cooldowns for all of his units. You'll see that their cooldowns are slightly different, looking at that bottom right. That Smart Blink really kills you. You should try to not Smart Blink as much as possible. Keeping the cooldown of all your Stalkers Blink all in tandem is really, really good for their mobility. Whenever their Blink gets what's the word I'm looking for? Whenever it gets to where it's different, to where one Stalker has 8 seconds left on the cooldown when another Stalker's only at 2, you can't do a whole lot with all of them. You can't reliably Blink packs of them because there will be 2 Stalkers right next to each other that don't quite have their Blink on the same cooldown. Now, it looks like my scouting zealot was able to do quite a bit to him. Took out not only a probe, but took his pylon down, really slowing down how quickly he can get back in this race. And if I would have known his food was this low, I probably would have split my forces quite a bit earlier. I would have taken like maybe this much of my force and marched up here to kill the ninja, and then left this other half down here to protect my base. especially given that I have charge now. Blink Stalkers have a lot of trouble against charge, like I said earlier. Little observer still hanging out here. You can see a little ripple from my perspective. Looks like I sent another zealot up there. Oh, check that out. He had 4 kills. 4 kills altogether. I don't think those were all probes. I think he probably had a kill or 2 before. But that was really critical. That was awesome that I was able to get that. And it looks like I've got zealots on a couple other patrol patterns in other parts of the map, just to make sure he doesn't get some other kind of ninja up. His stalkers are kind of still keeping me pinned, though. That's the trouble with Blink Stalkers. It looks like I see the count right here. Seeing that few stalkers, I really should split this force up. If I remember correctly, I think I end up doing something else, though. Oh, and check it out. He's going to catch my observer. Sure enough, he sees it. Once I'm past his observer, especially with his stalkers this close, there's really nothing I can do. There's that smart blink, that shift blink again. That's not good to do. Oh, he's going to get another observer. Wow. Did you see he had all the stalkers selected there and tried to blink all of them? Only 2 had the cooldown. Oh, and now it looks like I'm being ballsy with my Colossi. With this few stalkers, I can do stuff like this. 3 Colossi are strong enough that he really can't engage even this directly. So this is a huge problem for him. It looks like I'm not moving these forces. If I remember, I was still unsure if this was his whole force of stalkers. Throughout this game, he's shown really good affinity for splitting up his units, for splitting his units up. And I figured he might still have a pack back here trying to keep me pinned. So above all else, I just want to make sure that I'm staying alive and getting that momentum built up. Now I brought an observer over here. It doesn't look like I moved him around much yet. The main thing I want to see over here, and here I go. The main thing I want to see is his probe count. I want to make sure that I'm ahead of him in probes, and there you see it. Very obviously, I am quite ahead of him in probes. That is really good to see. He is getting his production back online, and oddly enough, chose to get a Stargate. Not exactly sure what his plans were for this. Phoenix kind of have the same purpose as Blink Stalkers. They kind of pin you. They make it to where you're nervous about moving out of your base. So since they're kind of synonymous in use, it's not a real good idea to get both of them. It's a redundant investment. I do like the 4 gateways, though. He's thinking he can probably just get a lot of stalkers and maybe eventually out-micro me, which is very possible. Will I finally get some observer revenge? And yes, I do. My observer gets his observer picked off. And it looks like I am getting the natural up. I was going to say, surely I'm recognizing by now that this is his only pack of stalkers. I should have already split this force up a little while ago. It looks like I am getting blink. Okay, I kind of like that play. If I get blink, then I will almost certainly be able to deal with his stalker count. Ooh, a fleet beacon. Really? Is he going for a mothership? Oh my, that is a very interesting play. Given how low on stalkers I am, I guess I kind of understand that. And given how my observer control has been, is he going to get another one? Oh my god, no way. I really don't remember. It looks like I'm checking his stalker count out again. Does he see it? He can see that little ripple. I don't know if he quite spotted it or not, though. Oh, surely he is spotting this. He's going to go for the, he's going to try for the counter, but he can't quite get it. So it looks like I'm finally going to do the move, and here he's going to try for the counter. He's going to move back down, and he's just going to sacrifice this base. He knows that he still can't fight me head on. But this is just too small of a pack of stalkers at this point. I've used my momentum to build back up, and no, he never did get to start a mothership. Too bad, so sad. And it looks like I'm just delaying his time with some zealot warpings. I do have a 4 gate back here, and the zealots do have charge, so they're even getting in on the stalkers and doing some damage. And oh, no way, am I going to drill? I'm going to drill with the probes even. Nope, I decide not to. But yeah, I've got the crushing army, and now it looks like I'm sending just the zealots back for defense, and leaving this to do some cleanup duty. He is going to get in here and try to take out some probes, but as you can see, I can lose quite a lot and still be fine. So it looks like we're coming on the closing moments here. Really interesting base race that led to this kind of weird situation. I liked a lot of his blink play. He did great things with it. He pinned me just like he should have, and there he leaves. He pinned me just like he needed to. But my timing and my little bit of a surprise just got the edge on him. And I probably could have ended that earlier, but I kind of like that I went for the safe route. A lot of these tabs don't really tell the story of the game. If you looked at these tabs, you would be like, holy crap, how did that game go 6 minutes, you know? This guy wasn't spending his money, and your army count just crushed him, right? Well, not exactly. The mobility play that he went for was actually really clever and kept me in a horrible situation. I guess this is probably one of the most notable points in the game. Resource collection rate, both of us base trading, 0. He had 1 probe. I literally went down to 0 probes. Luckily, though, he didn't kill the Nexus in my main. He spent too much time chasing my probes down, and after that, I was just able to get my momentum back, not to mention just having the larger army count anyway, which you'll have in Protoss vs. Protoss when one player's going for Blink Stalkers and the other's going for Colossi or something meaty. The army counts would have been kind of even if he was going for Blink Stalkers and I was going for, say, Phoenix. But that probably would have favored him, as Phoenix don't do too well against Blink Stalkers. Alright, well, I think that'll be all, folks. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.